The Justice and Peace Commission of the Southern African Catholic Bishops' Conference has been a prominent advocate for justice for the victims of the 2017 to 2018 listeriosis outbreak linked to tiger brands. The tragic outbreak, which claimed over 200 lives and left thousands with lasting health complications, has traced to contaminated products from a factory owned by Tiger Brand's subsidiary, Enterprise Foods. Since then, the SACBC Justice and Peace Commission, together with Richard Spur Incorporated and LHL attorneys, have worked tirelessly to support affected families in their ongoing struggle for accountability and restitution. After years of legal battles, on Monday, February 3rd, Tiger Brands announced that they had reached an agreement for advance payments to be made to the first of a number of persons who are seeking interim assistance to address urgent medical needs while the class action continues. Father Stan Muyebe, coordinator of the SACBC Justice and Peace Commission, highlights the Church's unwavering support over the past 6 years, providing legal, emotional, and spiritual accompaniment to affected families.
We were approached, I think it's soon after the outbreak, by a lot of people, mostly from Soweto and also in the Eastern Cape, sharing with us that they have been victims to the listeriosis outbreak. We then started working with the lawyers to see how they can get access to justice. But we felt that it was important as a church that we don't just help them with the litigation, access to justice, but we should also do a pastoral accompaniment. So we have been throughout the years been accompanying some of the families. There is a lot of pain and suffering, We have visited families where somebody they have been working hard to have a child, and then because of listeriosis, they lost the child. We have cases of children that are born with deformities. They're not able to go to school because of the deformities that they have, the brain deformities. A lot of cases of pain. We have been accompanying them to give them a sense of hope. Hope in 2 levels. The first level is that this case has been protracting. So to give them hope that they shouldn't give up hope. There will be a closure at some point. And the second hope is to be able to have deep experience of God's healing in their lives. Some of them are Catholics, others are not Catholics. But even those who are not Catholics, we have been accompanying them spiritually, that they should open up to God's healing presence. There's a lot of trauma in some of them. This was unexpected. So the trauma healing, it requires, of course, our counseling, but the healer is our Lord. That's why we have been inviting them, always encouraging them that they should be healing, and that healing they can only receive it from the Lord.
While the Justice and Peace Commission has cautiously welcomed this gesture, Father Muyebe said they will continue pressing Tiger Brands to extend compassion to all affected individuals, including those with long-term medical needs, and to negotiate a settlement that benefits the entire class in the lawsuit.
I think it's important that private sector, when they have been involved in harming people, they should take responsibility and not hide behind legal technicalities. The pain of the people should be more important than the profit. They should take responsibility. Just like some of the private sectors, when we have lack of accountability among politicians, they insist that politicians should be open and accountable. The same level of the same standard of accountability, I think they should reflect it on themselves as well. The country needs a lot of companies to invest in this country, to invest in Africa. That's very important. But when they enter into this space of investment, they should also have a human rights responsibility. Where there is harm, they should not hide and escape accountability, because it's human life. It's not just statistics. We are looking at figures, 300 people, more than 1,000 people who were infected. It's not just a statistic, but behind each figure, there's a family that is suffering. And corporate responsibility, corporate citizenship is the ability to listen to the cries of the poor and the cries of creation.
In a joint press conference with Richard Spur Incorporated and LHL attorneys held in September 2024, the SACBC Secretary General, Father Hugh O'Connor, highlighted the prolonged suffering of victims who have yet to receive compensation or closure 5 years after the crisis.
So for the sake of the victims, for the sake of those who continue to live with the effects of this outbreak, we as Bishops' Conference make an urgent ethical and moral appeal to Tiger Brands and all the relevant stakeholders, including the National Institute for Communicable Diseases, to work together in good faith to expedite this and to bring a resolution to this case, and that it may be concluded as speedily as possible.
Father Hugh O'Connor criticized the legal delays, stating that justice is being denied not only by big businesses and insurers, but also by a system that allows legal maneuvering at the expense of vulnerable people, and urged Tiger Brands legal stakeholders as well as health authorities to work together in good faith to expedite a fair settlement.
We all agree, and we should all agree, including the directors and the leadership of these private companies that hold this case in the palm of their hands, that the victims and those living with the consequences of this outbreak have already waited far too long, and they cannot be made to wait any longer, to carry the burden of this delay. From what we have heard, the evidence is clear. Take responsibility. Do the right thing. Settle as soon as possible.